This looks like a fun one. This is asking us to solve the equation for dot dot dot, right? It's non-specific, and we're going to have to solve for one of the variables. So in each case, I'll just choose a variable and kind of highlight it up in the top in red, and we'll isolate for that variable. But solving for the other variables would be essentially the same process in general. So in this first one, let's solve for L. I'm going to solve this equation for L. Okay, my general process with fractions is going to stay the same as it always has. I'm going to multiply through by the least common multiple of all of the denominators, which in this case is just 4. And what that does for me in the first stage is that when I multiply it on the left, the 4 and the 3/4 just become a 3 because the 4's cancel out, leaving me with L minus M. And on the right hand side, we just simply have a 4 times a k, which is a 4k. Okay, now on the left, let's do a little bit more distributive property. So we get 3L minus 3M equals 4k. Now the problem did ask for me to isolate the L, so I don't want the M on the right hand side. So in order to make me not have that M on the left hand side, I'm going to move it. I'm going to add 3M to both sides, moving it to the right hand side. So nice cancellation, and on the left we now have 3L, and on the right we have 4K plus 3M. So now we only need one more step in order to isolate the L as was our goal, and that's to divide by 3. Because if we divide by 3, our 3's will cancel. On the left we'll only have L, and on the right we will have quantity 4K plus 3M all over 3. And that's the final answer. So if you think you can take a good shot at this, why don't you pause the video and try the right hand side, and assuming you gave it a good shot here, or if you just don't feel like giving it a shot, let's do it together. On the right hand side, did you choose a variable first? You could choose either x or y. I guess for simplicity's sake, let's just do one example where I solve for x. So I guess you might have to pause the video again if you decided to solve for y. So n equals x minus y over 5. We're going to use the tried and true strategy of multiplying by the least common denominator, which is a 5 in this case. So on the left hand side, we will have 5 times n. And on the right hand side, the 5's will cancel, leaving me with x minus y. So now what's left to do is to solve for the x. So we got to get rid of the minus of a y. So I'll add y to the right and add y to the left, yielding, well, on the left hand side, 5n plus y. And on the right hand side, after the cancellation, hey, we're just left with x. And that was our whole goal the whole time anyway, was to solve for x. So 5n plus y equals x, and that's how you solve an equation with a lot of variables in it for one of the variables that's specified.